So I spent the last couple of weeks setting up a dust collection system for my shop. It's using that Harbor Freight 2 horsepower 5 micron single stage dust collector, the Schedule 20 PVC tubing, and a bunch of PowerTech attachments and stuff like that. So stay tuned for the evolution of this dust collection system and for a quick summary of what I learned along the way. And if you have any tips on how to get the system to suck even more, go ahead and hit me up in the comments and let me know. I'm definitely not finished here, but this is kind of what I have so far. So this is my first stab at a dust collection system for my garage. And basically it's a silo with a bucket and a ShopVac. You've seen these all over YouTube. And it doesn't work very well, and I'm gonna kind of explain to you what's happening here. So if you're planning to build a system like this, you will maybe not do that. Alright, so here's what we have. We have a supporter cable, 4 horsepower ShopVac. We have these 2 Lowe's buckets. We have a cyclone filter. And here we have an attachment for the cyclone. And then I have a PVC pipe. It's a 2 inches running down and is hooked up to my router table and my miter saw over there. And here you can see we have these connections and the blast gates that I got from this PowerTech dust collection kit from Amazon. Alright, so let's go ahead and try this out. I have this blast gate open, and I'm going to close the one on my miter saw. And let me go ahead and turn on the vac. I forgot to mention, I also have this anemometer, or however you say it, that will help us do some of this testing. So let's go ahead and fire it off and check out the router table. So I put on my meter here. You can see it starts to spin, and it's picking up at about 400, I guess 20 or 30 feet per minute. And I can feel there's a pretty good grab going here. So any kind of sawdust here, it actually is picking up kind of nice. Now I did run a piece of wood through this before, and I found that a lot of it was actually getting sucked out, but there was a lot of it still left over here. So that's kind of a no-go. So even here, with the first pretty much stop on my ShopVac, the performance already sucks. Alright, so let's go ahead and try it on the miter saw. So I can open up this blast gate, close this one. And so now if I put this thing here, it's not even spinning. It's basically not even picking up, and there's no draft that I feel here at all. So that kind of sucks, right? I would figure that, at least this setup, I would at least be able to get 2 tools with this ShopVac. So let's see what's going on here. So I'm going to undo this. And take this out. All right, and let's see what the draw is for this thing. Without the PVC and without anything else. Alright, so we're at about 4,200 or so, 4,300. Alright, so that's a lot more than that was over there. However, one thing that you will notice too is that look at so of course the vacuum, the dust collection system here, that'll take a hit on its own in terms of airflow. One specific problem that I ran into is the way that this airflow comes through here, right? So you have almost a 180-degree angle and it goes through, and then another 90-degree angle over there. So let me go ahead and put my ShopVac on something else, and then we'll try this again. Alright, so now it's a little bit better. There's still a good 90-degree bend over here, but I think we can work around that. So let's dust it now. Alright, so that was a little bit of an improvement. And it works a little bit better now. But it's still, even with this improvement, I tried it out with my PVC pipe, and it's still not even close to being good enough to actually set up any kind of a dust collection system. So I'm gonna go to Harbor Freight. I'm gonna get a dust collector, and I'm gonna replace this thing with that, and then I'll post a video to show you how that goes. We have a dust collector in the corner connected with some flexi hose to my overhead system. So all the PVC pipe is using Schedule 20 sewer grade PVC. That is much lighter and much cheaper than regular Schedule 40. And the connectors from PowerTech don't fit exactly into this, but I just taped around them and I think it works well enough. So the first stop on this dust collection pipe is the miter station. So I have 4-inch fittings coming down, and I have a blast gate here. By the way, all of this stuff is just hanging. So I know a lot of people hook it up with like wall brackets, and that just seemed like too much work for my first attempt. So I just have these things hanging off from my ceiling. I just used a few screws with a washer to hold it in place, and I think it's working pretty good so far. Anyway, so we have a 4-inch blast gate, and then we have these two hoses coming through. This miter station, this miter saw, just this Wen 10-inch sliding compound miter saw, really kind of sucks at dust collection. The port that it has here is not even a 2.5-inch dust collection port. It's like 1.25 inch. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to convert it down to 2.5, and then I have this plumbing rubber fitting to seal it with the miter saw. And even then, the dust collection was awful. I had to put this little attachment here to get some of the sawdust in here, and it still works like crap. So I'm not sure exactly how I can fix this. I saw a lot of people doing a lot of crazy stuff on YouTube. I'm not sure if I'm going to go that route, but it was definitely disappointing with how well this worked out. So what I did is I added a second 2-inch split from here. And so the idea is that I can go ahead and just vacuum up this area when I'm done. Or if I'm making some specific cuts, I can put it right here, the miter saw, and help with my dust collection. It'll probably be a couple of both. One of the things I did notice is that if I close this fitting, right, by just putting it down like this and minimizing suction, that only has a very slight impact on the suction here. And I think it is because we have 4 inches of suction here coming through, and it's being kind of equally split. But if you close this, you're not going to get like a double suction over here. So by having the second split off over here, it really has minimal impact on this. However, one of the setups that I tried before is instead of having a 4-inch split over here, I tried to have a 2-inch split over here and a 2-inch blast gate, right? So imagine that this adapter is sitting over here, it's converting 4 inch to 2 inches, and then it splits up using 2-inch Y and 2-inch adapters. And the impact there was much significant on the airflow. So that is why I decided to split off everything at the 4-inch pipe. Anyway, more to come on this. Definitely don't like how it's set up now, but it is what it is. Next, we come into the router table. Similar kind of setup. I have a drop-in from the top, 4-inch Y, and split up into 2-inch hoses, and one is hooked up to this thing. I forgot what it's called now. And then there's also a second attachment over here that is going to be sitting essentially underneath my router table to collect some extra dust. And what I can also do is I can actually arrange it and have it be in different areas, right? So for example, if I'm cutting something further away from the fence, I can have us mounted somewhere closer. And one of the things that I've done to this one is I took some 10 gauge electrical wire that I had that's kind of hard, and I just secured it on top of this. So what this lets me do is just kind of have almost like a stand for it, right? So I can like stick it in there or something, and then stick this one in here. And then have this thing just kind of stay in place, you know. So if I wanted to have it like right over here, for example, I can do it like this. Very kind of cheap solution. I'm probably gonna use this in a couple more places. But the section on the router table is pretty good. I think it is because this dust port is much closer than the one on the miter saw. Then I have a split down here. That fitting right there is sealed with a plastic bag for now, but that's gonna go to my my bandsaw. And then this is for the ground pickup. I forgot what it's called now. Also by a 4-inch blast gate. And then I have a split off from the main going down to the other end of the garage. Also, this is not set up yet, but this is going to go to my table saw. It's going to go through here, or it's going to go as another split off from the dust collector itself. I haven't figured this part out, so stay tuned. So anyway, so this is what I have so far. I think it works pretty good. If you have any feedback on how I can improve this thing, please definitely give me a shout. I can use all the help I can get. And thanks for watching.